Yep.
Thank you, Denny, and welcome everyone. A unique program at Lake Superior College takes education to the inmates at the Northeast Regional Corrections Center outside of Duluth. The semester-long course combines LSC students with incarcerated men at NERC. The course is part of the National Inside Out Prison Exchange, founded at Temple University back in 1997. Here to tell us more about the program is Teresa Leopold, sociology faculty member and coordinator of the Inside Out program at LSC. Dr. Patricia Rogers took over as the new president at Lake Superior College this past July. And Kelsey Davis is an LSC Inside Out grad and current Superior police officer. And welcome to all of you for coming in and talking about a really fascinating program. And maybe, Teresa, you could start by telling us a little bit about how the Inside Out program works at Lake Superior College.
Okay. So the basic idea of the program is that you teach college courses inside a correctional facility. Half the students in that course are people currently incarcerated at that facility. We call them the inside students. And the other half of the students are regular college students who travel there to take the class alongside these incarcerated folks. And those are the group we call the outside students. So it's just like any other college course other than where we have it and who we kind of go into the course knowing that the other half of the students are currently incarcerated folks.
Mm-hmm. Kelsey, you've taken this course. How has that helped you as a police officer?
I would say that it's helped me as a police officer because I was able to get a better understanding of how inmates view police officers. So I kind of know going into my job that they might have some reservations. They might not approach me the same way. So I was able to kind of break some of those barriers and understand why they felt that way.
Were you already a police officer when you began or prior to?
I was prior to, but I knew I wanted to be a police officer, so I was kind of able to get that experience from that class.
So it's helped you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Rogers, why is this a good fit for Lake Superior College?
You know, we are the community's community college, and we serve our entire community. And so this program, along with many of the other students that we serve, is really one of our main missions, really, is to make certain that we can be impactful in our community and take care of all of our community.
Mm-hmm. Teresa, what kind of training did you have to go through in order to really get this program started at Lake Superior College?
So I attended a week-long training program at Temple University back in 2010. 7 days of training. 2 days were spent inside a maximum security prison there where the inmates were in charge of the training. That's Graterford State Prison. And when I became certified, I returned back to the area. And the next order of business was figuring out which correctional facilities might be interested in partnering with us. NERC was the first partner that we had. We've also recently added a second partner, and we teach the class also at the federal prison camp here in Duluth. So we've offered the course 14 times in about 8 years and had over 450 students participate in this opportunity.
Doctor, I was just going to ask you, what kind of success has this program had? 14 years it's been going on.
Yes, it
long
has.
Before you became
and
president.
Long before I was here. I mean, this is certainly really about the success of our faculty and the commitment of the college to continue this program. In fact, we would hope to expand it. We are one of 4 in our region. In fact, we are the only one north of the Twin Cities. So it's really quite an impressive and unique program.
How many students can you take in?
That's a question for Teresa.
Okay. Teresa?
We try to keep it small, so we
Sure.
aim for 15 inside students and 15 outside students every semester. So we typically have a waiting list also each semester. More students are interested than we're able to accommodate, but we're working on right now getting more instructors certified and trained to be able to expand the program.
Kelsey, when you took the course, was this your first experience going inside a prison sort of a setting, or maybe just being in contact with people who were incarcerated?
It was, yes. So something that was new, I know when I had started, I was a little bit younger than the typical applicant, so I had to get some waivers signed, and it was just something that I had to kind of overcome, and once I got accepted, it was a great experience.
Do you look at inmates or former inmates a little differently now that you've gotten to know what it's like in NERC or in a lockup?
I have. I actually have run into a couple of them outside, not as a law enforcement officer, but just kind of out in the public.
Sure.
And you're kind of able to see them as a real person while they're in the classroom. Something that was nice, actually, when I was up at NERC, is that a lot of the inmates wore normal clothing. That was the time that they could wear street clothes, so that we weren't really able to kind of tell that they were the inside students, so we treated them as equals.
So it's not a situation where the students from Lake Superior College are going there to study the inmates.
No,
at
this
all.
this is not that kind of program at all. These are all students together and getting a unique perspective on what is going on inside as well as the outside perception. So it's really a wonderful mixing of the two.
Are there any concerns or challenges with working with a prison population that you have to think about, maybe even in selecting the students who are part of the program?
I would say that we've had really great success and wonderful correctional partners that have worked with us. There's certainly a lot of logistical things to figure out with staffing and granting access to the institution for these outside folks. To allow 15 college students to come in once a week for an entire semester is not every correctional facility's idea of
Sure.
how they would like to allocate their resources. So we've been fortunate in that we found partners who really believe in the value of this program and have supported it and done what it has taken to allow it to happen.
Now, Kelsey, you were not incarcerated when you took the course, but can we have people who are incarcerated become law enforcement officers? Depending perhaps on the crime?
Sure. I believe that a felony conviction prevents you from being able to be a law enforcement officer. At NERC, not everybody there has a felony conviction.
Sure.
It ranges from gross misdemeanors to felonies, so there may be a situation, I guess. But we have had plenty of students take this course while they were incarcerated, who then it kind of rekindled their interest in education, and we have seen them on our campus enrolling the following semester and taking courses. So
Nice.
it does very powerful things for both groups of students.
Kelsey, when you're in the class, you said that it's not always clear to tell who's who. Are there rules in terms of how far you can take relationships with those who are incarcerated, or protections so that there aren't outside relationships developing out of this?
Yes, that is something that we actually went over prior to starting. I remember sitting in Teresa's class and we had a kind of a rule book. So to protect our safety as people who are the outside, we could actually give a fake name. We didn't have to use our real names, we only used first names. I know a lot of people in my class actually chose to use their first real name. The other thing was that we weren't allowed to know each other's last names, no contact information, no phone numbers, no emails were exchanged between inside and outside students, just for that kind of protection. That was part of some of the rules I think that both LSC had and that NERC had to kind of protect the confidentiality.
Kelsey, can you tell us a little bit about what a typical class is like? Is there a lot of group discussion within a class?
There is, and that was probably the best thing for me. I know when I was in the class, it would usually be maybe 2 inside students with 2 outside students, and we were able to collaborate. And something that I actually kind of learned being in those group discussions, I used to tell Teresa this a lot, was that the inside students were probably the smarter ones than the outside students because they were so committed to the studies. We'd get there, you'd have 4 chapters to read. The outside students might read 1, whereas I remember the first week I came back, we had to read a book, and the inside students were just so happy to be able to go back to college again, that they'd read all the materials and they knew everything,
Sure.
and their discussion posts and points in the discussion were fantastic.
Has the school received any sort of pushback at all from people who think that this isn't the right way to educate people?
We haven't heard anything. I don't know, Tressa, have you?
I have
heard
not
anything?
ever heard anything negative. In fact, we've had wonderful support and coverage, and nothing negative to my knowledge.
Does the content change from semester to semester so that the people who are incarcerated can maybe take the course more than once, or is it a one-off for them?
I currently offer 2 different courses, so it is possible for inside students to retake the course, and I have a lot of repeat customers for my outside students as well. I have students who take one course from me, and it's such a powerful experience that they ask if they can take the following semester's course because it is a different actual course content for them. So it does change, and correctional facilities can allow inmates to retake the class. Because we have such a waiting list, though, at the facilities, some of them have kind of just decided they want to give as many different inside students the opportunity as possible and haven't really let them repeat the course yet. But I see a time coming when that probably will happen.
All
Sounds
right.
like quite the program.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming in and sharing, and good luck as you move forward with it.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you
it.
all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.